In your green book. All right, so in continuing with our algebra basics which we learned yesterday, we're going to go through our algebraic expressions. Okay? So algebraic expressions is just a term we use for writing out an algebra equation, right? We say that algebraic expressions can be in both words or numbers. Okay? We've got a couple examples that we're going to go through and look at on the board here. But you can write out an algebraic expression in words, which we have here. 4 examples of algebraic expressions in words that we're going to convert to numbers. And then we've got 4 that are in numbers that we're going to convert to words. Okay? And that's what part of our practice today is, figuring out how to convert them from numbers to words and words to numbers. Okay? We know already from our review that we just talked about that algebra has symbols. Those symbols have values. The same symbol can't have different values in one equation, but 2 different symbols could have the same value. Okay? Those are important things that we talked about. As we move through here, we look at some of these math sentences. So if we look at this first one, 15 more than a number. So 2 things that really stand out, 15 more and a number. When we convert this from words into a number equation, these are the 2 parts that we really are breaking down. How do we represent a number? And this could be any number, right? So how do we represent a number? We can put any kind of letter in there, right? The letter is our variable, which could be any number. Okay? So our equation says 15 more than any number. Because it could be any number, that becomes our variable. Right? So when we do 15 more than any number, we could look at putting in our number, which would be our variable b. 15 more is plus 15. 15 more than a number. B plus 15. When we look at the second question, we say a number decreased by 3. So we have a number again, then we have decreased by 3. How are we going to write a number decreased by 3? Katie?
Take just a random letter and then do minus 3.
So give us a random letter.
O.
O? Okay. You could have O subtract 3. Now, you have to be careful with the letter O, because oftentimes people will confuse it for 0, right? 0 minus 3. So oftentimes when I'm doing a 0, I might do it like that. You leave your O like that, or we could even just convert that O to a G right now, and that makes us fully aware that that's a variable, G minus 3. What about a number multiplied by 5? So a number, and then we have multiplied by 5. How are we going to do a number multiplied by 5? Yeah?
Just a random letter and then 5.
So give it to me.
So, A5.
So you could say A5. What happens if someone wrote it like this? Is that still right? Why?
Because it's 5 times a number.
So 5 times a number. Let's substitute a number in there. So let's say this is like 3 times 5. We know that that equals 15. But what if we reverse it? Now it's 5, and we still have 3 as A. Is it different? No. So both are actually could be correct, right? Both are correct. The last one, a number divided by 6. This one's a little bit tricky, because when we deal with algebraic expressions or equations, anytime we're talking about division, we're talking about a fraction. Okay? So how might we write a number divided by 6? Yep.
So you do 6, and then like do the like what you do with fractions, like one on top and one on the bottom with the line, and then you put number like that.
So if I write this, is this a number divided by 6 or 6 divided by a number?
Oh, that's 6 divided by a number because of the.
This is 6 divided by a number. What do we want?
A number divided by 6, so you have to put the n on.
Yeah, so we would just reverse it. We would put the number, and then we know divided by 6 underneath. Okay? Number divided by 6. Now, when we're looking at converting from numbers into words, we're doing similar things. So if we see b plus 3, anytime we see a letter, we know that we can write a number in its place. So for this one, b plus 3, how would we write that as a sentence?
A number.
How would we write b plus 3 as a sentence? Yeah?
Take the unknown number and add it by 3.
A number, add 3? Is there another way that we could say that? Is it more or less? When you're adding 3, is that making it more or less?
More.
So we might say 3 more than a number. Right? What about 14 subtract n? How do we now write that as a sentence or a statement? 14 minus n.
14 decreased by a number.
Yeah, we could say 14 decreased by a number. So you start, in this case, we start with 14, and then we decrease it by a number. Up here, we said a number decreased by 3. So it's like reverse, right? But with our subtraction, we're usually starting with what we've got there, right? So a number decreased by 3, or 14 decreased by a number. Anytime you see the letter, we know that stands for a number. What about 10C? 10C. Carly, you think you got it over there? What are you thinking?
I just don't know what like the C numbers.
Well, just kind of say what you got and we'll work through it together.
Okay, C multiply 5.
For this part here,
Yeah.
you're right. But instead of C, and the 5's 10, but instead of C, say a number, right? So we could say a number multiplied by 10, right? 10C, a number multiplied by 10. If I wrote 10 multiplied by a number, am I also correct? Yes, in this case I am, right? You could write what's there first, 10 multiplied by a number, although a number multiplied by 10 is the exact same, so it works both ways. What about the last one? We have an f over 8. F over 8. How would we write that? So we can start by writing f, right, which is what? A number. So we say a number.
Divided by 8.
Yeah, divided by 8. And that's it. Right? These are what we're doing when we're converting numbers to words, words to numbers in expressions, right? Expressions are how we see the algebraic equations, or how they're represented to us. So today we're going to practice some of those algebraic expressions. Good work.